It's James Smalls, the one and only rockstar farmer with the Secret Garden Family Farm LLC, located here in Walterboro, South Carolina. Today, we're doing our pork shanks from some pigs that was grown right here in the backyard. The shank is the back part of the leg. It's about like right here on the pig's leg, and it comes in different sizes. But when we had it processed, they cut it in these little flat pieces like this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in a crock pot. But what I'm gonna do is before we crock pot it, I'm gonna throw it on the grill to braise it, you know, get it nice and seasoned, get that smoky taste in it before I put it in the crock pot. There's several different ways you could do it. You could do it on the stove, you can, but the main point is you wanna get this outside brown and with a nice little char on it so they can lock in those flavors that's gonna be in there. And so when I start cooking, I'm gonna just be using a little bit of this cayenne pepper, some rub sage, some adobo, garlic powder, sazon, salt. But like once I put it in a crock pot, the only other things that I have to use is some beef stock and some chopped onions and some minced garlic. But you know, so let's get it started. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this pack of meat here open. Oh, alright, so now we got the pork shanks, we got them washed off. And this is how the marbling on the meat looks. The pork shank is pretty similar to like a ham hock, but the ham hock comes from the front legs, and these shanks, they come from the back. But like I said, the butcher, they processed it and they cut it up in these little sections like this. I kind of like this better because it's easier. But this meat is good for making tacos. It's good for like if you making a roast or whatever. I mean, you can do just about whatever you want with it. After you slow cook it, it's gonna be nice and tender and it's gonna fall apart. Like here, you got a nice little piece of skin around the outside. So what I'm gonna do is before I put it on this grill, I'm gonna use a little bit of my oil before I season it, get it nice and oily so that the seasonings can kind of stick to it as I'm cooking, as I'm putting it on the grill. So I'm gonna do this side. We're gonna add our seasonings real quick. These packs of sazon right here, I learned about this in Puerto Rico, man. It's some good stuff. Puerto Rico, I learned about pork and about sazon and adobo and sofrito. But see, you just add it on there nicely because you're gonna be putting in the crock pot with some other stuff, you know what I mean? So like with the beef stock. So the beef stock is gonna require some more flavor too. So I'm adding just a little touch of cayenne pepper to add a little bit of spice to it, just to give it a little kick. A little rub sage. You don't have to use that much of it. I just like it for the flavor. Some adobo. Some salt. And you repeat the process for the other side. You want to get that oil on there so that when you put it on this grill, you have everything sticking to it. A little cayenne pepper for that kick. Oh yeah, I didn't put garlic powder on the other side, but we're going to use a little garlic powder. Can't forget the garlic powder. You put a good little bit on that to add for that flavor. Some rub sage. Adobo. And sazon. And I've already had the grill pretty much like cooking, so right now it's ready for me to drop these on there. Ready for me to drop those on there. And the point of this is to get that nice little brown coating on the outside. These are not gonna cook right here. They just, maybe I have to put it on the top a little bit. Let's see, or I'm gonna spread it out from that fire. Because you just wanted to get a nice little brown on the outside. And this varies for if you're using a frying pan, a grill, whatever you're using. You brown the outside to braise it, to lock that flavor in. Because as you can see, they got a bone in the middle. And as it slow cooks, that bone is going to release a whole lot of flavor into your meat. So the best thing I like to do that I find that tastes good is to braise the outside, lock that flavor in there real good with the grill or the frying pan. And let's just let it brown for a second, and we'll be back to you in a second. All right, y'all. So as I'm cooking, you can see right here, it's got that little brown. What I'm gonna do is continue to cook it, and that's what I like. I like to see it like how this side right here is nice and brown like that, because that's gonna lock in all of these good flavors. By no means at all is this gonna be like finished cooking right now. This is not a 5-minute meal. This is a meal that is probably gonna take you a little bit like all day, because you're gonna slow cook it after this. But this is just like an in-between when I'm flipping it, and what you're gonna look for on your pork shank before you put it in a crock pot. Oh yeah, that's the look I like right there. All that smoke coming off this grill. It's a beautiful day in the secret garden, and we cooking pork shanks on this grill, starting it out for this air fryer. So like as you can see right there, let's wait till that smoke clear. See that color that it has right there? That's what you're looking for. Now you can slow cook that. Yeah, even if I have a little char like that, that's what I like. Oh yeah. Let that bad boy char up. One more last good time before I take it off, and we go in here and put it on this slow cooker. So that's what we're working with right there. It's nice and brown. And this meat is going to be nice and tender. And you can season it however you want to right now. One ingredient that I didn't mention is I add some smoke. That smoky taste, like this right here, is going to add a different flavor than if you put, whatever else you want to use. So my recipe is used just so you can see how to cook a pork shank. However, whatever ingredients, whatever recipe, like whatever, you can do it yourself. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and take these in and get them in the crock pot. All right, so we got these pork shanks here ready to go into the crock pot over here. So what I'm gonna be using is some beef broth, minced garlic, and onions. And we're just gonna drop it in there. I'm gonna put mine on high because I just like to let it cook, but then it's gonna take hours anyway, so within those hours I will be checking it to see if I need to turn it off, turn it down lower, or whatever the case is. But let's go ahead and get started. So I just go ahead and take this lid here off. Look at that. That brown on the outside right there is how you're gonna lock in that flavor. And you see that bone right there in the middle? That bone in the middle is what's gonna pack it with some more flavor. So let me go ahead and put these in there, add these onions, and I'll get back to you. As it's in there, you can see all those juices just running down. And so I'm gonna add, like, since these shanks aren't really that big, I just cut up like 3/4 of an onion. You can add jalapenos, you can add whatever you like. I added 2 tablespoons of garlic, minced garlic. That's all in there. And so you give it a little bit, mix it up a little bit, you see. And then we're gonna just add that beef broth. You can use any kind of broth. You can, like this recipe is just showing y'all a quick way to take a pork shank on a Sunday and make a good meal. Pour that beef broth in there. So now it's ready to cook. So what I usually do is I'm gonna let it go for, I'm gonna put it on high for about 6 hours. I'm gonna put it on for 8 hours. Even though I'll be back and forth, it's not gonna take 8 hours, but I just let it cook for that amount of time and go from there. Alright, y'all, so this is at 2.5 hours. It's still pretty tough and it still needs to be cooked down some more. But as you can see, those onions, the garlic and everything is melted down in there. If you can smell it, you can still smell the grill, like that smoky flavor that's gonna be in these pork shanks here. So I'm gonna just let it keep going and I'll give you an update here soon. Alright, y'all, it's been about 6 hours and these pork shanks is, oh man, I know in the last part you saw how tough it was, but like, look, they falling off the bone. It's falling apart. The skin right there, I'm gonna put it in a bowl and cut it up. But look, this pork shank is just coming apart. The onions done melted and dissolved in there. And this is, I'm gonna eat me some rice and some corn. So y'all gonna have dinner with me and see how I break it up. But like this bone, you can actually, it got so much juice in it. I like to just suck the juice out the bone afterwards. But yeah, you can cut up all of the fatty pieces and mix it into whatever you want. Whether you're doing tacos, whether you're eating it on the side, like with some rice or anything, however you're doing it. If you want to add barbecue sauce, all that's up to you. All I'm doing is showing you that these pork shanks, it's a great piece of meat that you can eat with your dinner. So here you go. You can reuse it for, I usually like to freeze it. And the same way I bought beef stock for this recipe, if I had some of this here saved up, I could still use the same stock right here. So after it's all said and done, this is some good pork stock. It's seasoned down. And at the same point right here, if you need to add any more seasoning from when you was cooking it, right now would be the best time after you done tasted it. So yeah, this is the best part. After all of that cooking, you know, James Smalls, the one and only rock star farmer, he gets to sit down, have a plate of his good food with some good pork that, you know, raised right here outside. The best part of life is eating what you work for, you know, being able to eat what you work for. So I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy my food. This pork, nice little piece of fat right here. It's got some good flavor. Get some of this meat. The meat just falls apart. It just falls apart like that. Like I said, it's perfect for like tacos, however you want to do it. If you want to add barbecue sauce, you can do whatever you want. For me, this is good right here. I'm enjoying it. We have these pork products that's for sale. If you're interested, we can mail it. FedEx, 2 days. We accept cash, checks, EBT, However you want it, we can sell it to you. I'm going to sign on out and enjoy my dinner. Thank y'all for watching this video. James Smalls, the one and only Rockstar Farmer, Secret Garden Family Farm LLC here in Walterboro. Thank y'all.